Now in the previous example, I have shown you how to operate with the arrays. I created an array, I read the values into the array, and then I printed the values. So now in this example, let's see how to pass arrays to the functions. Okay. And then here I have some array. And let's say, for example, I'll initialize it with 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. Now this is fine. Now, for somebody who is already familiar with functions, that's fine. But if you are not sure, so function is again a code block which performs some activity, and it may or may not return some value. So mathematically, if you are not familiar with functions, here is the general idea. So say for example, mathematically you have written or you have seen such statements. If a f of a comma b, and a if a greater than b, b otherwise. Okay. Now, if you have seen such statements, this is a simple function, right? So, given the values of a and b, it performs a certain operation. And when I say f of 2 comma 3, you can see that it is going to return 3 anyway based on this definition. So if I have to replicate the same thing inside the program, and this is how I do it. I need to write a function called f of which accepts a and b. So a and b should be given some types. So int, it's up to you based on what type of value. And this is the definition. So this is the actual definition for the function where you write the logic. And is f of is going to return something? As far as previous scenario is concerned, yes, it returns. It says that the result of this function is either a or b, right? So the result of this function is again an integer. So this is called as return type. Okay, I'm going to return an integer. And here you do the logic. So the logic for this function is, if a is greater than b, you should return a, or the function should result in a. Otherwise, the function should result in b. So if a is greater than b, then this function should result in a. So return a, else return b. So this is the total logic of this function. Okay. And to demonstrate this, I can say I'm going to make a call, int x equal to f of 10 comma 20. Now this is a call, function call. So unfortunately in Java you need to understand the concept of static and non-static. That I will be explaining it to you in the next section. So for now, let's say static. Okay, don't worry about it. It's a static function can only call or reference to other static members of the same class. That's the rule. And because of that rule, I have to make it static. But anyway, this is your function definition, f of, which accepts two values. And the logic is, this is going to result in one value, which is whichever is the greater of the two. So this function logic is going to return that value. And the return value is indicated as an integer. So f of returns something. And because you said f of is going to return an integer, this is assignment is valid because the result of this function is an integer, and what is accepting that value is an integer. So this is the function call, and this is the return value. So if I print what this is, so let's say x, you should see 20. So that's it. So this is our very, very fundamental introduction to functions. So let's leave this code here and let's bring that in. Okay, so let's talk about arrays now. So int arr, we have that array of 10, 20, 30, and I want to pass this array to a function. So if I say I want to make a call and I want to write my own function definition, print arr. So I need to make a function definition here which prints, and this function is not going to return anything. It simply prints the array. So the return type will be void. So it's not going to return anything. Name of the function is print, and it's going to accept an integer array. It you can name it ARR, you can name it some A or B, whatever it is, up to you. And in order to make a call, static should call only static. So for now, so keep it as static. Now this is your function. So it returns nothing. And inside the function, you can print something. So let's say, for example, for int, for each value or element in B, simply print it. Okay. So this is your very simple function. So let's run and see. So we have the elements and elements in the array are. So this is good. Now we started passing the arrays to functions. So what is the important point to remember? So when you are passing an array to the function, you are passing the address. So address of the original object. Now if you look at the previous scenario, so this is how it is. You have something called as print that accepts an integer array b of. Okay. And here b is again a reference variable. So it is waiting for some value, right? Now what happens when I say print of ARR? ARR is nothing but the address. The address is 1000. It's say for in this case. Now we are passing the same value to B. So B also holds 1000. Now B is also pointing to the same array. So what do you mean by this? If you make any modifications to the array within the function, that is going to affect A. Just remember that. Okay. Now let's go back. I'm going to write a function. Let's say set 0. And what I will do here, I will take an integer array I is less than b dot length I plus plus b of I is equal to 0. Now will this affect the original array? Okay, if I make a call to set 0 and I pass this array, so will this affect the original array? Yes, because what you are passing is an address and B also refers to the same address. Now whenever you make a modification, you are also modifying the same elements. So this affects A. Now when I print this, print ARR again, so what is going to happen? I'll just give a break line. Now what's going to happen? Now you can see the elements are zeros. So that is the difference. So whenever you are passing arrays going forward from here on, not for primitive types like simple integer, simple double, not like that. From going forward from here on, we are dealing with reference types, nothing but pointers. Whenever you are sending a pointer, it means you are sending the address of the original object itself. So from within the function, if there are any modifications done to the original object, that will have an impact. Okay, just keep that in mind. I'll see you in the next lecture.